This video is going to introduce the codominance inheritance pattern. So with complete dominance, or Mendelian inheritance, we were looking at traits where there is only two phenotypes. So with Mendelian inheritance, we had only two phenotypes possible, either the dominant or the recessive. Now, if we think about traits out in the real world, this is not how all traits work. For example, here we have some flowers, a snapdragon flower, where there are three different phenotypes. There's a red phenotype, a white phenotype, and a pink phenotype present here. So this cannot possibly be explained by a Mendelian inheritance pattern, because there are more possible phenotypes that could exist if there were simply just a dominant one and a recessive one. And in fact, what we notice here is that one of those phenotypes kind of looks like a blend of the other two. Pink is a blend of red and white. So when we see cases like this, where there are three phenotypes and one of them is a blend of the other two, we would expect that this might be the codominance inheritance pattern. So in traits that follow this pattern, there are three possible phenotypes, and one of those is a blend of the other two. Now, the way that this works is similar to Mendelian inheritance pattern. There are still different alleles that determine the genotype of an individual, and their genotype determines their phenotype. But the way that we can end up with a blend is that both of the alleles that are present are now dominant. That's why we use the word co, is that they are dominant together. So before, when we represented dominant alleles, we represented them with capital letters. So if we think about this, if there was a red allele, we might represent that with a capital R, and a white allele, we might represent that with a capital W. We can't use two of the same letters because they, obviously you can't have two capital letters of the same letter, whereas we could have an uppercase and a lowercase of the same letter. So here are possible genotypes. We could have two big R's. It would be homozygous for the R allele. We could have two big W's, or we could have a R and a W. So the RR, this works exactly like Mendelian inheritance would, because we have the red allele and only the red allele. These would end up as red. And here we have the white allele and only the white allele. These would end up being white flowers. Now here's the difference in codominance versus Mendelian inheritance. Because both of these alleles are dominant, they're both going to show up in the phenotype. And that means the phenotype is going to show up as a blend of the two. So a red allele and a white allele, those two mixed together, will give you a pink phenotype here. So in solving these problems, it works exactly the same as our Mendelian inheritance pattern. We can look at Punnett squares, and we can know something about the parents and the offspring. But the only difference now is if we have a heterozygous individual, it doesn't take on just one of the other two phenotypes. It represents a blend of the two phenotypes. One side note here, the book uses a slightly different notation for this. Because these are all talking about one trait, we're talking about flower color here, the book and some other textbooks will use a notation where you use one letter for the trait itself, maybe F for flower color, and the allele that they have, they write as a superscript above that. So you might have a flower trait with the big R allele and a flower trait with the big R allele, or you might have the flower trait with the big R allele and a flower trait with the little R allele. To me, that makes it a little more confusing to have this second letter here. So I just stick with using a capital letter for each trait, and you're welcome to do that. But if it makes it more clear for you that we're talking about this flower trait and then the allele for that trait as a superscript to that, you're welcome to use that notation too.